Red Bull made their constructors' debut in Formula One in 2005. Since then, they have become incredibly successful, with 4 Drivers' Championships and 4 Constructors' Championships to their name. For 11 seasons, the Red Bull team used Renault engines in their cars, but switched to Honda power units for the start of the 2019 season. Honda also supply the power plant for the other Red Bull-owned team in Formula One, AlphaTauri. The Red Bull-owned AlphaTauri team was originally formed in 2006 under the name Scuderia Toro Rosso, with the intention of helping Red Bull's junior drivers, giving them a potential path into the parent team, Red Bull Racing. This allowed the Red Bull team to have 4 drivers racing during the same season. Since 2010, they have worked independently, with their own car being designed and built in Faenza, Italy. In 2020, the team achieved only their second win at Monza, courtesy of Pierre Gasly, with the first win and only pole position coming again from the 2008 Italian Grand Prix in Monza, with young superstar Sebastian Vettel in the driving seat. Synonymous with the sport, McLaren have been heavily involved in Formula One since their debut in 1966 at Monaco. In this time, they have had incredible success, bringing home 8 Constructors' Championships and 12 Drivers' Championships, making them the second most successful team of all time. For many, 1988 was probably the most memorable season for McLaren, where the team won 15 out of 16 races with drivers Ayrton Senna and Alain Prost. The team absolutely dominated that year, and to this day McLaren still holds the record for the highest percentage of wins in a single season. They have had many of the world's most highly regarded drivers racing for them, including Senna and Prost, Mika Hakkinen and Lewis Hamilton, who won the Drivers' Championship during the 2008 season. Aston Martin are not entirely new to the Formula One scene, with an original foray over 50 years ago which lasted just 5 races. However, the rebranding of what was Racing Point is a serious step forward after the team's 4th place success after a tight 2020 battle with McLaren for 3rd place. With former world champion Sebastian Vettel on board and young talent Lance Stroll alongside, the future is bright for a team that goes back as far as Jordan and not too recently was nearly lost to administration. But thanks to former driver Sergio Perez and the new owner Lawrence Stroll, the team has gone from strength to strength, and it is no secret that they aim for the top of the ladder. Alfa Romeo Racing Orlen, operated by Sauber Motorsport, have a long and varied history in motorsport, competing in various disciplines since the 1970s. But it wasn't until 1993 that they began their Formula One campaign. They have partnered with multiple engine manufacturers throughout their time in the sport, including both Ford and Ferrari, but the best results they achieved were between 2006 and 2009, where they worked with BMW, achieving 2nd place and 3rd place in the Constructors' Championship in 2007 and 2008 respectively. 2018 saw them bring back the iconic brand Alfa Romeo to Formula One as their title sponsor, a partnership that was extended in 2019. Orlen joined the team as co-title sponsor in 2020. In 2016, the USA-based Haas team began strongly in the midfield, with Frenchman Romain Grosjean bringing his car across the finishing line in 6th place in the team's very first race in the 2016 Australian Grand Prix. Since then, the Haas outfit have been regular points finishers. Ferrari supply the power units and transmission to Haas as part of a technical partnership, which has helped the team maintain their cost-effective and sustainable operation. And with a new, young but promising lineup, the team are planning forward for the future of Formula One. Branded from the Renault team that has seen 2 consecutive 5th place finishes in 2019 and 2020, and a 4th place finish in 2018, Alpine may be a new name to Formula One, but this famous sports car brand has plenty of motorsport heritage. With the team's first podium finishes since taking over as Renault from Lotus in 2016 last season, and with a promising young talent in Esteban Ocon alongside former world champion Fernando Alonso for the 2021 season, the team are primed for future success. Perhaps the most famous Formula One racing team of them all, Scuderia Ferrari, have been competing in the sport since the birth of the Formula One World Championship in 1950. As well as having participated in every World Championship season, they are also the most decorated, with more wins and world titles than any other team in the history of the sport. Founded by Enzo Ferrari in 1929, Scuderia Ferrari originally supported Alfa Romeo before, starting from 1947, forging their own identity as the racing team and road car manufacturer we know today. 9 of the world's most famous and recognisable drivers have competed and become champions with Ferrari, including Niki Lauda in the 70s and Michael Schumacher in the 90s and early 2000s. Debuting in 1977, Williams are one of the most famous and well-recognised teams in motorsport. They started out as a very small single-car team in the 70s and made their way to a position of absolute dominance through part of the 1990s. In that time, Williams have had some of the most famous and accomplished drivers of all time in the driver's seat, including Nigel Mansell, Damon Hill, Jenson Button, and of course, the late great Ayrton Senna. Williams have partnered with multiple engine manufacturers over the years, with the most successful by far being Renault in the 1990s, with who they would win multiple championships. In total, Williams have had a long and very successful history in the sport, with over 100 Formula One race wins to their name. Returning to Formula One in 2010 as a works team, Mercedes have become one of the most successful teams in recent history, taking home both drivers' and constructors' championships in each of the last 7 seasons. Prior to that, Mercedes were engine supplier for the Brackley-based 2009 Constructors' Champions Brawn GP. This was their way back into Formula One as their parent company Daimler purchased a stake in the team for the 2010 season. The team was then rebranded to Mercedes and have raced under that world-famous German mark ever since, creating history along the way.